first one is this ACT mastery, and we're gonna work from the science because we're doing science. And this is the teacher manual. And then the other thing that we have is decoding the ACT manual. So these are two big books in addition to our content that we have to look through and implement in our classrooms in the 80 minutes every other day that we have with our students. All right, and what's on the ACT does not necessarily align with what we're teaching. So for example, in the back of the Decoding the ACT book, it has how frequent the information is in there. So on here it says there's about 28.4% biology, 28.4% physics, 23.9% chemistry, and 19.4% earth and space science in the whole science ACT section. That's not even half. And they don't take the ACT officially into the 11th grade. So that means they're only getting the biology. If they do physical science, they're getting some physics and some chemistry. If they're just taking chemistry, they're only getting the chemistry. And they haven't even really gotten into the earth and space science. And if they're taking anatomy and physiology and not taking earth and space until their senior year, anatomy and physiology is pretty much not on there at all. So that's just content that we're teaching that doesn't align. It doesn't align. Alright. So some of the issues that ACT has found in here is tips to help our students decode the test. So another resource that we have is this Mastery Prep Online site. Okay? And I'm just gonna pull the first one. In the PowerPoints, you just log in and you download them, and they're really easy to access. And I've been accessing them in my class too. And start off with preview the passage. So this, I found, if we're gonna hit on the how to implement without taking away from class instruction, which was another one of our concerns. When I tried to do this in previous years, it took my whole class period. So I do not suggest doing all of this first time. But what I've done is I've tabbed over to this. I don't have them writing. Quick, popcorn out to me. What is a chart and graph? Hear what they got to say. I don't say whether it's right or wrong. I just get solicit answers. What is an x-axis? Quick review. And, all right. These are the road signs. So what you're gonna teach the kids to do to help them go faster is to preview the passage, follow the road sign. They only got about 5 minutes for each reading passage. So they have to preview the passage and follow the road signs. So what I suggest to implement to help get them to read and comprehend the text and to implement without taking away from time is bell ringers. And the bell ringers are also located on the ACT website. If you go back to the original page, you have the science elements, the bell ringers, and then if you go farther down, or farther back up, you have the science elements with the PowerPoints and stuff. But we're just gonna look at the bell ringers. And you can print them out, and they have them for the whole year, and 3 minutes. The first one, I haven't been doing with my classes because I think that's the time's up. All it is preview the passage for 3 minutes and then take it back up. If I'm worried about time, I'm not gonna do that one. I'm gonna go straight to exercise 2, and it has questions. And so also to save time in my classroom so that I can give them these questions is I have a basket and they know that it's a norm to come in, pick this up. I already give them a little scratch piece of paper, which is just extra copies of stuff that I've cut up and put over here. And they already know, come in, get the bell ringer, it's up. And they only have 1 minute per question. That is also time. They only have 5 minutes for each passage. So if each passage has 3 to 4 questions, that's 1 minute to preview the passage, 1 minute for each question. So they, and I don't care how much they fuss, scream, fight, and bark, I ain't changing it from the 1 minute. Nah. So, when you're teaching them to read it faster, we're gonna use this mastery prep strategy, which is preview the passage, follow the road signs. So when they, and then I've actually specifically taught on this. And with this slide, there's nothing for them to look at. All they're doing is pulling out the important information, and that's it. And we say, yep, that's them. Let's go to the next one. Table 1, predator, zones A through E. So when I'm previewing the passage, don't read this whole passage, you don't have time. You're only looking at the table, charts, and graphs. And you're only looking at table 1, you're only looking at the predators, and you're only looking at zones A through E. So for science, for us, we don't necessarily have to read too much into reading this passage and understanding this passage quite yet. We're just worried about tables, graphs, charts. Now, the last thing I'm gonna talk about for time, because how much more time do we have? How much more time? 2 minutes, I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes. Is how to how to take the test seriously. This is hard for our kids. I think, well, actually, I'm gonna get your buy-in. What do you think we can do, we'll get a Sharpie, to allow our kids to take this test more seriously? Shout it out to me, popcorn it out. Okay. Is that gonna be in the classroom level or the whole class level, like at the school level?
Both.
Okay. Incentives? What else? When I started,
Make it
like at
count.
5.
Make it count, so that's, like grading, revise a grading system that makes it count. So they won't think that, okay, I'm just coming to class, I'm just doing this for 5 minutes, and it don't even count. So, a grading system that makes it count.
I think that definitely works. This semester, these first couple of weeks, I've been taking it up. At first, when I was getting them into the norms of it, I wasn't taking it for accuracy. But after I went over a couple of PowerPoints, now I am taking it for accuracy. And that's a major thing that I have in my grade book.
Reports to the main office.
And I'm not letting them grade it because I don't want them to cheat. But all they're writing is ABC, and I've been able to grade them in like 2 minutes. Just flip ABC, ABC. Especially easy, because in this beginning, a lot of them. But make it count towards their grades. And I put them in as assessments. I don't put them in as classwork, it's assessment. What's that else? What else?
If you see it frequently, you can get more accustomed to doing it. So, the frequency.
Be consistent, or maybe they'll buy into it with the fact that I've been doing this every day for the past year. I better do good on this ACT because I've been practicing it. So they're buying in because they're investing their time into it. So by being consistent, help them. Make them, ask them, persuade them to use their time. What you think, Mr. Fortune? What's something else we could do? How did those bell ringers from that 5-minute bell ringer been working?
So far so good, I think it helps them retain the information.
Helps with like strategies, retention strategies? And one more.
I think, well, this would probably do a little bit more, with those strategies, put it on their own level. So, do computer-based games.
Oh, okay. Put it on their level, make it engaging for them using technology.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be my last point. Alright, last thing is ACT Mastery Prep. Thanks to Birmingham, or thanks to our school system, has set it up where we can assign them modules for a grade. So if you go back to the ACT, it's actually under Acrobat T. Mastery Prep. Mastery Prep Acrobat T. And we just use our and the kids are sorted out in these different grade levels. And you can say to them, hey, you need to do module 1. And module 1 aligns specifically with this textbook, exactly, and with the PowerPoints, exactly. So it's redundant actually for them to do the lessons in the book and online. It's better one or the other, otherwise it's redundant. And you can give that to them as homework, and it grades them for how long it takes them to do it, completion, and accuracy.
So how do you see yours doing better with the homework or doing it in class?
Last year when I gave it as an assignment, I didn't tell them to go home and do it, they did it in class as an assignment. And they didn't, I don't know if they didn't score well because in general they don't score well, or they didn't score well because they weren't giving effort. I'm not sure. And then part of it is reading it.
But overall, you got more participation of the students. Not online homework, but
Yes.
pretty much so.
Because, when it's online, it's not, only thing I can do is walk around and look at their computer screens. But when it's at the book, I can flip and look. But they also kind of tend to cheat more with the book. Whereas online, it's set up so that if it's a kid that's always getting stuff wrong, it's gonna give them easier and easier material. If they're always getting stuff right, it challenges them and give them harder material. But, so they can't really cheat on that. So, how to get students to read text? What are we gonna do to do that?
If we're talking about like in class,
Mm-hmm.
read out loud, it's not bad.
We have to make sure that we're aligned with Mastery Prep's techniques, which is previewing the passage and follow roll signs. So they're not reading whole passages, they're only reading table charts and graphs.
So what we're doing is we're giving them, how they pull out certain texts, like main ideas and words, pull out those words that they're not familiar with, identifying vocabulary. Are you talking about doing that?
How to analyze table charts and graphs.
And
Analyze them. They're not really
Well,
analyzing.
yeah, they're not in there, but
They're looking at the charts, looking at the tables and saying, what's on the x-axis, what's on the y-axis? What is the trend? How do I know? And in the, I'm running on time, but, mastery prep, if you do the bell ringers, they get harder and harder. So the first couple ones are like, the second and the third one are multiple choice. The fourth and the fifth one are write a statement. So comprehension for science and reading for science is tables, charts, and graphs. How to get them to take the test seriously? Make them do it every day and invest their time. Give them incentives. Put it in the grade book. And make it interesting, maybe by using the computers depending on your learners. And how to implement without taking away from class instruction. We're gonna implement bell ringers. 3 minutes, we're holding to the 3 minutes. When it's time to review it, what'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get?